Amplifiez votre passion pour la guitare pour quelques euros par mois. Rendez-vous sur lachaîneguitare.com. Amplify your passion for the guitar for a few dollars per month. Head over to theguitarchannel.biz. Welcome to the Guitar Channel. I am super happy to welcome you a new lockdown interview, a new interview confinement as we say it in French. I have on the other side of the Skype connection the one and only Josh Scott from JHS Pedals. Josh, how are you doing today?
Doing very well. Glad to be on here. Thanks for inviting me.
Mm-hmm. It's a pleasure. We came that close to do a video interview at Winter NAMM, like it was a lifetime ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. So we are going to talk about the crazy situation we are here in at the moment. But how was the Winter NAMM for you?
Yeah, it went really well. I don't even know how many we've done at this point, but yeah, it went well. It's always a lot of fun, you know, with your friends and different companies. So yeah, it was good to see you there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was also the Winter NAMM edition, the Winter NAMM year. Oh, you did release the PG14, so this pedal you developed with Paul Gilbert, right? You even had him on the booth.
Yeah, so we released the Paul Gilbert signature, the PG14. Mm-hmm. And that pedal has done really well. Paul is such a fun guy, and yeah, it's like a perfect combo. I love Paul's as silly as I am, and we get along really well. So that's been really fun.
Yeah, you did produce like 2 or 3 videos, one on your channel, and there is also one very cool interviews on Sweetwater, I think you did, where you did use the pedal throughout, plugged into several amp, and it was really good. And of course, the one you produced, I guess it was at Paul Gilbert house that you record the videos?
Yeah, it was from his basement studio in Portland,
Yeah. And obviously the basket section of the video was the best part.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Gilbert is a hidden talent.
So tell me, how was it to spend some time with Paul Gilbert to come up with his idea and to develop this awesome sounding pedal? I did also publish a review of this on La Chaîne Guitare, and it is an excellent pedal. So how was it?
Yeah, working with Paul is like, it's a best case situation. We connected. It's a little vague. We connected because he had a few pedals, and we started talking. And Paul has pretty severe hearing loss in certain frequencies, and it kind of sparked this idea: could I make a pedal that boosted those frequencies for him? And then that was the starting point. And it just kind of evolved into that unique pedal that I think turned out way better than anything I had imagined. And then, you know, we went over and filmed with him. I had met him once before, but then we went and filmed with him, and it was just a lot of fun. And then after that, we both flew from NAMM, from LAX airport to Chicago. I rented a car, and we drove together to Indiana. So I had like 3 hours in the car both ways with him. It was hilarious. We're just, it was a lot of fun. He's an awesome dude. And it's hard to imagine a better collaboration experience. He's just an excellent person.
I think for me the killer feature of that pedal is really the push setting that allows to have, you know, some kind of almost that like the amplifier is about to collapse. So how did you build that within the pedal?
Yeah, so the push feature is essentially a preamplifier in the pedal. So you could, to simplify it, really simplify it, it's like a boost circuit on the front of the pedal. So and it works so well because the distortion is a FET distortion, and those FETs react a lot like tubes. If you hit them with a lot of signal, they cave, they give a little. So as you turn that push up, it's actually not the push that's caving and making it sag and feel like an amp's exploding. It's the fact that you're overloading the FETs. And so it's like this, it's an interesting way to simulate or emulate what a tube amp does, especially when you get one really cranked up and the rectifier tube sagging. And yeah, it worked pretty well.
Yeah, and the sound is really great, and I think you sell this as a distortion pedal, but in fact it's possible to dial the gain level pretty low, so it's almost a crossover between overdrive and distortion, right?
Yeah, I really like it. I don't use a ton of distortion. I do stack overdrives, but I like that pedal almost as a cleanish overdrive with single coils. I play Jazz Masters and stuff a lot. I play nothing like Paul. Like you're not even, as you saw in that video. But I think it's super versatile. It's more versatile than I intended it to be. Yeah.
Let's talk about the crazy situation we are in at the moment with the lockdown and the coronavirus situation and so on. So tell us, what is the impact for you, for JHS as a business?
Yeah, so JHS, we're an American company, and we're located in Kansas City, Missouri. And that is, if you take America, we're right in the middle. And my company is 25 employees, right at 25 people. So when COVID-19 started showing up in numbers that were concerning, we saw New York, San Francisco, LA, Seattle, and I have friends in all those cities. I was texting and calling and feeling it out. I knew that Kansas City would shut down because we're a city, a big enough city to have problems. So we prepared for that. We basically started imagining, how can we build pedals in our homes? We knew we could do, like most of my job, I'm here in a shop. You can't see it all, but I can design, build pedals, film videos, work. I'm fine. Most of my staff, a large percentage, are in similar things. You can work on a laptop. But how do you build a pedal from home? So we started working through that. And we got it going. I mean, my team, we really put together a nice system. We've been able to build thousands of pedals out of homes. We basically make delivery boxes, deliver the kits. They build them, pick them up, test them at the shop. We're running very limited personnel at the actual building locations. I wasn't very optimistic. I didn't think we would be able to do much. But I knew we could get by and make payroll and protect the employees for a bit. We had some reserves, so everything's worked out well. We've built 5 times more pedals than I thought we'd be able to, and sales are through the roof. I was about to ask that question. So sale is good. It's like it's Black Friday or something.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I mean, we're getting more. We're pretty good about. We built 45,000 pedals last year, and we pretty much ship when things are ordered. There aren't big backlogs. We build pretty well, pretty fluid system. But right now, we're getting more orders than we can possibly build because we're building in homes, and we're looking forward to getting back into the shop. Hopefully, today is the 30th. Yeah. There was a notice that maybe 9 or 10 days, we can go back into some form of working in the building. So that, for us, it's affected us by making us think differently. And it's weird. It's a little hard in certain areas. Certain areas are better. But overall, I think it's just been a really good opportunity to try stuff. I mean, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go, let's try this. We can do anything we want to do right now. Everyone's fine with anything. And there's no pressure. So it's been kind of fun in that respect of changing how we do some stuff, experimenting, and having some room to mess up and it not really matter. So it's hard to complain.
What will be the positive outcome for you, you think? Did you come up with new ideas, or is it more regarding the building process and so on?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think that it's sharpened how we build. we're more aware of some things. We've been designing so R&D, research and development, me, 3 other engineers to some extent. So it's like we're all still just doing what we were doing, and the isolation has been really good for that work because all of us who design we're introverted. We want to be left alone anyway. So it's like a dream world to be in your house designing circuits and nobody's bothering you. So I think the takeaways are, I feel like we'll come out of it stronger than we were all around. And that's good. It's a weird situation. It's not fun. It's scary when you think about all the deaths and things, and we're handling it as best we can, trying to play our part in helping isolate our employees. We have no sicknesses, no one's had the virus. We've been isolated really well. My employees have done a good job of taking that seriously, and I think we'll come out stronger than we were. That's kind of cliche and sounds cheesy, but I think we really will.
The Summer NAMM was canceled like a couple of weeks ago. Did you usually go to Summer NAMM?
I haven't attended Summer NAMM in 3 or 4 years. We stopped doing it. The whole NAMM subject is tough right now for us. We're probably not going to do Winter NAMM again either.
Really? Okay.
I'll go. I'll go and see people, but exhibiting, it's just tricky. It's tricky to calculate the value. Like, is it worth for me, it's $50,000 to go. I have to take a crew. I have to rent a house. I have to rent 2 rental cars. I have to feed everyone every meal. The booths are so expensive. You have to pay for power at your booth. You have to pay for carpet, And so when you start doing the math, are there better ways to communicate? Like you and I are on Skype right now. You're in France, I'm here, but we're talking, and that's how I'm trying to reimagine as a company. What if I just talk to my dealers in another way? I'm not sure. I love the party of NAMM. It's fun, but for $50,000,
you could throw a good party elsewhere.
I can go to I mainly go to Winter NAMM to communicate and talk to my Asia distributor, like Japan, China, all those. I could just go way cheaper. So we haven't done Summer NAMM because of those reasons, because it's much smaller. It's usually the same crowd, but it's a blast. I love all my friends there. But yeah, we're just the whole NAMM thing's confusing right now for us. And I think it is for a lot of people. The internet and the ability to do what we're doing now and make videos, the JHS show kind of exploded on us. That's just hard for me to believe. I never dreamed. I just wanted to teach nerdy history stuff, and it got really big. And that's another reason, do we need NAMM? I've released all my pedals over Instagram and YouTube for 2 years. So it's tough. But this last Winter NAMM, we were there with Paul, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't think we will go back to NAMM though, as a company.
Okay. Let's talk a bit more about your YouTube channel. And the fact is, I usually listen to a lot of podcasts, and in fact, I discovered your YouTube channel through Brian Wampler's podcast, and because he said so good words regarding the incredible videos you put out, that I went to check out your channels, and it's true that it is pretty amazing. And you don't talk that much about your brand. In fact, many videos you don't even mention it at all. But still, the content, the value of the content you publish is quite amazing. So, and I suppose, as you just explained, that you see a very positive impact on your business.
Yeah, the show. the show is so strange in hindsight, looking backward. We, as a pedal company, you're supposed to demo your product, make videos. Mm-hmm. We did that, and I just don't enjoy. I don't enjoy selling my products. In America, it's like we have a saying, like a car salesman, like where you go to a car lot and they're like, "You want to buy this? Come buy this." And it's like, it's very, it just feels sticky and gimmicky. And of course, if I go demo my pedal, what am I going to say about my pedal? I'm going to say, this pedal's great. I designed it. Like, why would I not say it's great? So I feel like that's just unspoken fact that I love my pedals, or I wouldn't have made them. Mm-hmm. And then we got just tired of demoing. It was just weird. And I started doing some like lecture talks where I go to colleges or record stores, and I was just teaching history of electric guitar and pedals and all these people stories, because I've been really fortunate over 10 years to meet heroes and sit down with people who invented stuff. And I just like telling the stories and teaching how the electric guitar affected society. So I would teach that, and man, I loved it. So we just were like, let's try one on YouTube. And people watched it. We did another. People watched it. And it just turned into, I'm just going to do this show because I love it. I'm not doing it because we're JHS. It's a totally JHS show is a totally different thing than the pedal company, but I obviously am JHS Pedals. Mm-hmm. And it's just Nick and I. Nick does all the editing. I write the episodes. Nick and I co-produce, and he edits. And there's a lot of work involved. I mean, we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars traveling, interviewing people. I'm working on a book. I've written for some other books. We're working on documentaries. I love it. It's like, I like it more than building pedals. And yeah, I think it's just an accident that it just came out of trying something different. And it is weird. People tell me all the time I need to talk about my pedals more, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm always going to like my pedals. Just know I like them, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. And going back to the PG-14, the episode you published with Paul was full of sound. We hear Paul Gilbert playing the pedal and everything. So all the information is there. Plus, it's kind of entertaining to watch it and to see you interact and so on. So yeah, I love the format. Cool. I dig it. Yeah, it's very cool. And is it difficult for you to come up with ideas? Because when we go through your videos, I mean, we want to watch everything because everything seems to be interesting. You seem always to be able to find the right, cool angle to talk about something.
I have never, my biggest problem is too many ideas.
Okay.
I have way too many ideas. I can't always do them. I've learned that I need help to get some things done. But like with the show, I work off of a list, and then basically I write an episode based off of a subject, and I work through it. And then when we film, by writing, I mean, I kind of outline what I'm going to talk about, make sure I get my dates and stuff straight, and then I just do it. You know, I know most of everything I'm writing anyway. And the problem is always that list right now has like 425 more episodes.
Okay.
And every day or two, in my notes app, I'll be like, I'll have my phone and I'll be like, that's a good idea. And it doesn't end. And that's exciting. So I will never, hopefully I can do the show when I'm like 90. I just love it. I love history. I like history and the stories of the people who made all of the things we love. That's what I love. I love the people. There's so many fascinating stories. There's movie plots in the gear industry. There's like these crazy scenarios, and I just love that. So I will never run out of ideas, I promise.
Are you surprised sometimes by the reaction you have from one subject to another? Maybe you think, okay, my God, this idea is incredible. It's going to be a blockbuster, and it does nothing, and the opposite happens too, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There'll be times when I've filmed things just to. I'd be like really, my job is like tons of travel here, and then I'm home, and then work here, and it can be really hectic at times. So there's been a couple times when I just needed to film something to put up on the show to keep it going. And it's like I didn't even really try, and they have 1 million views.
Okay.
And then there's like episodes that I slaved over, like worked on it for days, 40,000 views.
Okay.
So whatever. And that's been fun because we just filmed our 100th episode, and I've learned to just make stuff. Just make the videos. Don't assume anything. If I'm having fun, people will watch it. And it does feel nice to have multiple videos that are 1 million views, especially with guitar pedals. Like that's unheard of. But that's not the motivation. It can slowly try to be, and I try to make sure that's not the motivation. But yes, it's nice, and it's always surprising when something goes nuts. Like it's fun to me.
Yeah. You have an amazing collection of pedals. Do you know how many pedals you have in your collection? Roughly?
Yeah, I wish I was at the office. So my collection, it's basically become a museum. It's over 2,000.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's like, every pedal of this series, every pedal of that. There's drawers full. There's shelves on every inch of the wall. I think we're around 2,000. It's really hard to remember what I have. I've actually bought things twice. Like I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm actually working through a barcode system, or I have software, and I can tag things, and then I can go into the software. Because one of the problems is like, oh, okay, Josh, let's film a compressor episode. It's like you're standing in a room it's like I'll miss something. I'll be like, every compressor, because I'll start and go, every compressor, let's put them on the floor, and then let's think it through, and I'll always miss something. So I'll be able to be like, compressor, and then they'll all come up. So I'm working through that. It's pretty, I'm not a hoarder, I'm a collector. That's what I tell myself.
And you're still buying new pedals, or old pedals, I should say?
Yeah, I mean, while I'm here, I think next week I'm going to air an episode called Pandemic Pedals. It's all the pedals I've had shipped to my house.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, there's a solid 15 over there.
Okay, excellent. As a word of conclusion, where do you see the pedal business going? Because it seems that as for the videos, you are not running out of ideas. You also released this, I think it was last year, the Colorbox V2, which is an excellent, incredible pedal. Maybe a little bit too many buttons for us, guitar player, but still it's possible to come up with some incredible sound.
You need the crayon then.
Yeah.
You just need to buy the crayon.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, yes. So, where do you see the pedal business going?
I think that the pedal business, when I look over the landscape of guitar, you have electric guitars, acoustic guitars, basses, then you have amps, you have accessories, you have a lot of gear. Pedals are in this really safe place, I think, economically. I started JHS accidentally, a complete idiot, no business experience. I'm amazed I'm even sitting here talking to you when I think about it. But I started in 2007, 2008 in the recession. And we grew and grew and grew because I think when it comes down to it, we all have hobbies or things we love. Like, I'm a cyclist. I ride bikes a lot, and I have several bikes. I have tire collection. Like, I have gear that's for bikes. I'm always just going to buy something because I love it. So I think pedals, fall in this perfect spot, which is like, I'm shopping online. There's a $2,000 guitar that's awesome. My wife will kill me. Here's a $4,000 amp. Here's a $200 pedal. And I think that's great. I think the pedal industry is kind of the ultimate safe spot. It feels like, I could be wrong, but I mean, through this pandemic, like our sales and a lot of my friends' sales are through the roof. I think that it's just, where is it going? I think I have no clue. I mean, the trends are hard to predict, digital, analog, well, whatever. But I think as like a genre of equipment, pedals are going to do well, like for a long time. And I'm very fortunate. Like I didn't plan that. I'm not smart enough. So.
Yeah. Let's say you're smart enough to come up with some very cool pedals, so that's yeah, that's good. Josh, it was great to have you on the show, so thank you very much for your time. Hopefully next time we'll be able to do something guitar in hand. Your little kid is coming up and is coming to see daddy, so we have a new guest on the show. Excellent. Say hi to friends. Woohoo.
This is Ethan.
Hello Ethan, how you doing? Say hi to friends. So yes, hopefully next time we will be able to do something guitar in hand, and maybe you will come to France to talk about your pedals. What do you think?
Well, I definitely want to get to France. It was on my list for this year. We'll see what happens. I need help. I need to know what to do. I want to come because I think there's an exciting market. I think there's an exciting thing happening in France. I get a lot of contacts. There's a lot of interest, and I'd love to come and do some pedal history talks.
Yeah.
And clinics. Help me out with that. I'd be all for it.
Yeah, sure.
And my wife would be so happy. She speaks French.
Excellent. And we have Le Tour de France, so you should come to see Le Tour de France.
I'll bring a bike. Yeah. I know. It's like heaven. I'll leave a croissant.
Okay. All right. Thank you again. Thanks a lot for your time, Josh. And stay home, stay safe, and let's hope for the best. And hopefully this lockdown situation will be over soon. So thank you again very much for your time.
All right. Thank you.
Have
a great day.
Bye-bye.
And bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. All right. Bye-bye.
Pour le prix d'un magazine, abonnez-vous à la chaîne Guitare pour accéder aux vidéos intégrales. For the price of a magazine, subscribe to the Guitar channel to access the full videos.